I'm getting older in my middle age, and I just wanted to give some advice to the young people out there. Never get into a rap battle with Kendrick Lamar.
All right, let's break it down. The Grammy for Best Rap Song? Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Best Rap Performance? Again, Kendrick, Not Like Us. Best Music Video? You guessed it, Not Like Us. And honestly, Record of the Year? That should have gone to Family Matters by Drake, no question. Why? Because Drake actually pulled off a wild prophecy with that one. Out of everything he said during the whole beef, one line really hit and stuck hard. Meanwhile, Drake's probably laid up in some bougie Airbnb in Australia, wrapped up in a blanket with Baka, tears falling as he watches the world blast Not Like Us. A track that's got the streets screaming that Drake is a certified OV ho PDF file. Yeah, that part. Not Like Us didn't just hit, it shattered. It crushed all of Drake's streaming records. And it's about to get airtime on the freaking Super Bowl stage in front of hundreds of millions. A diss track this massive? It's the first ever to spark a lawsuit. Yeah, it's that serious. Kendrick used it to bring his whole city together on stage in Inglewood. That one night brought in serious cash for local LA businesses. And now all of Drake's lines like, "Get more love in the city that you from," or numbers-wise, "I'm outta here, you not keeping up." Those aged like sour milk. Tonight was wild. Kendrick Lamar didn't just win big. Not Like Us swept every rap category and made history. It's now the most awarded rap song ever at the Grammys and the first hip-hop track to win Song of the Year. Meanwhile, Drake? He's out here setting records too, as the first rapper to file a lawsuit over a diss track. But Kendrick flipped that same track into a movement. He used it to unite his city, spread good energy, and shatter legendary music records. Now let's talk Grammys. As Kendrick walked up to grab his awards, the crowd went off. The whole room was chanting a minor. No lie, there were so many people yelling it felt like a stadium. That's when Drake's bar about it being 20v1 really started to feel real. Drake's beef with UMG has him looking isolated down in Australia, while the entire music industry sang Not Like Us louder than they did at Kendrick's own pop-out show. If you thought filing a lawsuit would stop the Grammys from airing lines like, "Hey Drake, I hear you like 'em young," or "certified PD files" on national TV, yeah, that was wishful thinking. But let's keep it real. This moment isn't about Drake. It's about Kendrick Lamar leveling up the game and kicking down the doors for hip-hop like never before. Tonight was a game changer. For once, the Grammys actually got things right, even getting the biggest R&B star to end their boycott and perform. We'll get to that, but first, let's talk about what Kendrick just did for hip-hop. Kendrick Lamar winning both Record and Song of the Year with a diss track? That's unheard of, especially while Drake's trying to shut the whole thing down with a defamation lawsuit. Instead of killing the momentum, the Grammys gave Kendrick the crown. This win means everything. It's the first time a hip-hop song has ever won Song of the Year. And only once before, Childish Gambino's This Is America has a rap track won Record of the Year. That's it. Go back to 1990. MC, Hammer got nominated for You Can't Touch This and still lost to Phil Collins. Hip-hop has always been overlooked in these categories. But tonight, Kendrick broke through every barrier and shifted how the whole culture moves. The Grammys have a long history of missing the mark with hip-hop legends. Back in 1996, they overlooked iconic tracks from Tupac, Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre. But they did nominate Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise for Record of the Year. Still, it lost to Eric Clapton's Change the World. Fast forward to 1999, Lauryn Hill got a nod for Doo-Wop, That Thing, but lost to Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. In 2001, Eminem's The Real Slim Shady got nominated, but U2's Beautiful Day took the win. Outkast's Hey Ya also got passed over that year. In 2002, Outkast was back with Ms. Jackson, but they lost again. This time to Norah Jones's Don't Know Why. The trend kept going in 2003 when Eminem's Lose Yourself lost to Coldplay's Clocks. When Kanye West came in hot in 2004, Even Jesus Walks couldn't grab a win. It lost Song of the Year to John Mayer's Daughters. And through the late 2000s and early 2010s, they tossed nominations at any track with a Rihanna feature. In 2008, Umbrella with Jay-Z lost to Amy Winehouse's Rehab. Then in 2011, Love the Way You Lie with Eminem? Nominated, but still no win. The losses kept piling up. In 2011, Love the Way You Lie got beat by Lady Antebellum's Need You Now. In 2012, Kanye and Rihanna's All of the Lights lost Song of the Year to Adele's Rolling in the Deep. Then in 2014, Grammy favorite Macklemore got nominated for Thrift Shop, but even that lost to Lord's Royals. In 2015, Iggy Azalea's Fancy got a shot at Record of the Year, but Sam Smith's Stay With Me took the trophy. In 2016, Kendrick finally got a Song of the Year nod with All Right, but Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud snatched the win. 2 years later, Humble got a Record of the Year nomination, but Bruno Mars's 24K Magic won instead. It wasn't until 2019 that a rap song finally won Record of the Year. Childish Gambino's This Is America. In 2020, Old Town Road by Lil Nas X lost to Billie Eilish. And in 2023, Kendrick was back with The Heart Part 5, nominated for both major categories, and still didn't win. After all those legendary snubs, it finally happened. Not Like Us just made history, the first hip-hop song ever to win both Record and Song of the Year. And not only that, it swept every single category it was nominated in. Best Music Video, Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, and the top 2 prizes. Kendrick just made more history. With 5 more trophies added tonight, he now has 22 Grammy wins. Making him the second most awarded hip-hop artist ever. Only Kanye West and Jay-Z are ahead of him, both holding 24. But let's be real, Kendrick's about to pass them next year. Why? Because GNX dropped in November, missing this year's Grammy deadline. That means it's eligible next year, and if Kendrick bags just 2 more, he'll take the crown as the most awarded hip-hop artist in Grammy history. If you've been locked in with this channel, then you know we called it. We predicted weeks ago that Not Like Us would win Record of the Year. We knew it would dominate the rap categories. We even said Doja would likely take Best Rap Album. But this kind of sweep? Even we didn't see it going this crazy. Kendrick didn't just win one major award. He snatched both Record and Song of the Year. That's nearly unheard of. The Grammys don't usually double up like that on the same track. Winning both Song and Record of the Year proves just how massive Not Like Us really is. This track didn't just dominate 2024, it's shaping the culture for 2025 and beyond. And Kendrick let that be known in his speeches. Yeah, plural. They had to bring him up more than once because the awards just kept coming. People were out here debating, who's Prince, who's Michael? But Kendrick? At this point, he's both. And Drake? All that's left for him to do is sue the Grammys, because this moment just crowned Not Like Us as one of the greatest diss tracks of all time. And get this, Kendrick also broke another wild record. He's now the only male rapper in history to win 5 Grammys in a single night. And he's done that 3 times. After To Pimp a Butterfly, he won 5 in 2016, then 5 more in 2018 for Damn, and now 5 again in 2025, all for Not Like Us alone. That's 5 trophies from one song. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you know the rest. But here's the most poetic part of it all. When Kendrick accepted Song of the Year, the legend handing him that Grammy was none other than Diana Ross herself, the star of The Wiz. That moment was straight up iconic. Let's talk full circle moments. The first line in Kendrick's diss track Euphoria, "Everything they said about me is true, I'm a phony," was sampled straight from The Wiz, and who handed him the Grammy for Song of the Year? Diana Ross, the star of that exact film. That's poetic. Now, quick update. Jay-Z just broke Kanye's record and is now officially the most awarded rapper in Grammy history with 25 wins. He earned that milestone after being credited on Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter, which took home Album of the Year, another bold move by the Grammys. That win was long overdue for Beyoncé, who's been the most awarded and most nominated artist in Grammy history but had never grabbed Album of the Year until now. Finally, they're moving in the right direction. But back to Kendrick. He's now sitting at 22 Grammy wins. Just 4 more and he'll pass Jay-Z to become the top Grammy-winning rapper ever. And knowing Kendrick, that's probably already in motion. And did you catch what he wore tonight? A full Canadian tuxedo, denim on denim. That's not just style, it's symbolism. Kendrick never misses a beat. Everything he does, the visuals, the message, the music, it's all calculated and purposeful. 4 diss tracks in, and Kendrick still found a way to sneak in the most subtle jab of the night. If you didn't catch it, let me break down a little Canadian culture for you. A Canadian tuxedo is when you rock jeans with a jean jacket. And that's exactly what Kendrick wore to accept his award. A slick little nod straight at Drake on his own turf. As Kendrick walked up, legends were in the building. JKC, Dr. Gaiti, Drake Batay, Dre, Swizz Beats. But you know who looked the most hyped for his win? Taylor Swift. And that's wild considering Drake dragged her name all through this beef. He claimed she was Kendrick's boss, said Kendrick was scared to drop his diss track because it'd get drowned out by her album. Drake even dropped a full diss track titled Taylor Made Freestyle. But tonight, Taylor clapped back without saying a word, just by wilding out in the crowd, dancing hard to Not Like Us. Every camera angle caught her going off. And it wasn't just her. The entire crowd was rapping the lyrics. They even played one of the most controversial lines in the whole track. Say Drake, I hear you like 'em young, right in the middle of the show. The crowd went crazy. It wasn't just a celebration, it was an eruption. When Not Like Us took home Music Video of the Year, Best Rap Song, and Best Rap Performance, those were handed out during the pre-show, so DJ Mustard had to keep running up to accept them all. By the 3rd trip, he looked worn out, like he'd been catching wild Pokemon on stage. But once the main ceremony kicked off, something felt off. We hadn't seen Kendrick anywhere in the crowd. The Grammys teased a surprise performer, and since Kendrick was MIA, I figured he might pop out as the big reveal, especially with TDE still showing up strong through Doja and Sessa. But nah, I was wrong. The surprise guest ended up being The Weeknd, and honestly, that was another big win for the Grammys. They finally started making some smart moves they should have made years ago. Let's not forget what happened in 2020. The Weeknd dropped After Hours, one of the biggest albums of the year, and the Grammys snubbed him completely. He called them out on Twitter saying, "The Grammys remain corrupt. You owe me, my fans, and the industry transparency." After that, he vowed to never submit his music or attend again. Even Drake backed him up. A couple years earlier in 2018, when Drake won Best Rap Song for God's Plan, he took the stage and threw shade at the Grammys too. Back in 2018, when Drake won Best Rap Song for God's Plan, he used his speech to send a message. Music is an opinion-based sport. He told the crowd that a Grammy doesn't define success. If fans are showing up to your shows screaming every lyric, that's what matters, not some trophy picked by anonymous voters. Then in 2020, after The Weeknd was completely snubbed despite dropping After Hours, Drake spoke out again, this time on Instagram. He said we need to stop acting surprised by the Grammys' disconnect. What once was the highest form of recognition, he said, may no longer matter to today's artists or the next generation. He even compared it to a family member you keep hoping will change but never does. He said The Weeknd should have been a lock for Album or Song of the Year and called for someone to start something new, an award show the next generation could actually trust and build on. That same year, both Drake and The Weeknd pulled their music from Grammy submission. And if you don't submit, your music isn't eligible for nominations. That move? Honestly, pretty solid from both of them. But here's what really stood out. After 4 years of boycotting, The Weeknd returned to the Grammy stage this year and performed again. That moment? It felt like a new chapter was opening up. Clousty ChatGPT, the presenter, made it clear the Grammys are trying to change. They said the goal now is to modernize and better serve today's global music community. After major backlash from artists like The Weeknd and Drake, especially over the lack of transparency, the Academy admitted they heard the criticism and they're working to rebuild trust. They want to be an organization that stands for all music creators and truly represents the full scope of the music world. And over the past few years, they've made moves, launching programs like the Black Music Collective, Women in the Mix, and Actively Proud. Plus, they completely revamped their voting body, bringing in over 3,000 new women voters. Now, the voting group is younger. Nearly 40% are people of color, and 66% of voters are new. That's a major shift in a group of over 13,000 people who decide who wins every Grammy. Because of these changes, this year's show actually felt different. Artists who'd been overlooked for years, like Kendrick and Beyoncé, finally got their flowers. And history was made again when Doja took home Best Rap Album of the Year with a mixtape. She's the first female rapper to do that with a mixtape, and only the third female rapper ever to win the category. Gotta give it up, another prediction nailed. I said Doechii was gonna be the next big thing, and she delivered. She had powerhouse backing from TDE, and they helped shape her into a full-on force. Songwriter, visionary, and true artist. Her mixtape Alligator Bites Never Heal didn't just hit. It brought back that magic of listening to a full project from start to finish. This wasn't just a bunch of singles thrown together. She dug deep, touching on addiction, therapy, growth, and the pressure of breaking into the mainstream without selling out or becoming just another viral TikTok artist. She pulled from legends: Wayne, Missy Elliott, Lauryn Hill, Nicki, Kendrick, Andre 3000, Tyler. You could hear it all in the sound, mixing R&B, boom bap, and wild animated characters that made each track feel like a scene. She even rapped from the perspective of her own therapist. Who's doing it like that? Let's not forget, the Rap Album of the Year category was stacked. Common and Pete Rock, Future and Metro Boomin with We Don't Trust You, the project that kicked off this whole beef and helped Kendrick run up 5 Grammys. Still, it was Doechii who stood out. This whole shift we're seeing in hip-hop, Doechii's win proves it's real. The culture is swinging back to true artistry. No gimmicks, just raw creativity and expression. Letting the music do the talking. And Doechii, a couple years ago, she was on YouTube saying, "Thank God I got fired, ready to go all in on music." And now she's got a Grammy in hand. Her rise shows where both the Grammys and hip-hop are headed. We're finally shining a light on artists pushing boundaries, not just dropping auto-tuned, cluttered mixtapes built for TikTok trends. Real music is making a comeback. And it wasn't just Doechii's win. The changes at the Grammys opened the door for the weekend, too. After years of boycotting, Abel came back strong, performing tracks from his new album, which is fire, by the way. Should I do a full breakdown of that project? Let me know in the comments. He even brought out Playboi Carti to perform Timeless. But let's be honest, was it just me? Or did Carti only do ad-libs the whole time? I get the whole mysterious vibe he's going for, and I respect the influence he's had on the new wave. But this I don't care persona? If the music doesn't match and the performances stay weak, that hype might not last. This whole thing with Carti dropping random 1-minute experimental tracks every few months and teasing albums that never drop? Yeah, that mystique can only carry so far. Eventually, fans want real music, not just a vibe. If he doesn't lock in soon, people are gonna check out. But maybe I'm wrong. What I do know for sure, though, is this. Drake should have never stepped into this battle. I said it from day one. He should have kept it moving and let it slide, because all it did was backfire. That first take? It was actually the video that blew up this whole channel. And if you've been here since then, seriously, thank you. You've made it possible to keep having these convos, and 2025's only gonna get crazier. Back when I said Drake made a mistake, everyone was in the comments like, "This aged like milk." Folks swore Kendrick was scared after push-ups, thought Drake had him cornered. But look at where we are now. The Grammy stage tells the full story. And here's the funniest part. John Lennon's son, Sean Ono Lennon, got up on stage tonight to accept his own award. And out of nowhere, he hit the crowd with, "Never get in a rap battle with Kendrick Lamar." Like what? He's not even part of the rap world. But even he felt the need to warn people. That's how deep this moment cut across the culture. Before we dive into everything Kendrick said during his speeches, let's talk about some wild moments from the night. First off, Kanye West is fully back in the mix. He was one of the first to say what a lot of people were thinking, that the music world was celebrating the takedown of Drake. And after watching Kendrick collect award after award for Not Like Us, with the entire first verse blasting uncensored during a live Grammy broadcast. Lines like "a minor," "Hey Drake, I hear you like 'em young," and "certified PDF." You gotta wonder if this was deeper than just a rap beef. It felt like the whole industry was making a statement. Even Dr. Dre said once Drake mentioned Kendrick's family, all bets were off, and called "Not Like Us" one of his favorite tracks. Kai Cenat, one of Drake's own homies, straight up said Kendrick won by a landslide. That's how undeniable this moment was. And don't forget, Kanye dropped his own remix of "Like That" back in April and called the entire situation an attempted elimination of Drake by the biggest names in hip-hop. But now, it looks bigger than just the culture. It's touching the top of the music world. Back to Kanye, his comeback has been nothing short of chaotic. After losing major deals with Adidas and Gap and dropping billions from his net worth, Ye somehow made it all back. He went from Tokyo to LA, reappeared on social media, and returned to Twitter, now X, with classic Kanye energy. He dropped wild tweets like, "Hey kids, Twitter is a great place to express yourself and crash 3 companies at once. The Democrats made me take the loser post down. Nah, I'm kidding. They don't control black people anymore. Trump for life. I'm rich. I can say whatever I want. I do this for the broke me. Shout out to broke me. This one's for you. This is not a clone, or is it?" And of course, stop calling X Twitter. He even tweeted and quickly deleted that he used to want to sleep with Kamala Harris before she lost and told his ex to bring him his kids. Then came the Grammys. Kanye did a full Irish exit.
Everybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
He showed up just for the red carpet with his wife Bianca, who stole every camera's attention. She wore a sheer dress under a fur coat, and when she took it off, she was basically fully exposed on the red carpet. Look, maybe it's all part of the Ye show, but with families and kids around, that move definitely raised a few eyebrows. Whether you call it bold or reckless, Kanye's return is once again turning every head in the room. Not sure if that was Kanye's son, Saint West, next to him. But if it was, that kid looked like he's done with video games forever after that red carpet moment. Everyone thought Ye got kicked out of the Grammys for bringing his wife Bianca basically naked. But nope, he dipped on his own terms. Turns out, Kanye showed up just to flex. His outfit, her lack of one, and then bounced. Even though he was nominated and had every right to stay, he left early and later popped up in an interview with Justin LaBoy, where he actually gave Kendrick props for taking out his longtime rival, Drake. Even Drake's dad, Dennis Graham, chimed in on Kendrick winning all those Grammys for Not Like Us. Everyone's talking about it. Now, while it's cool to finally see Kendrick getting his flowers from the Grammys, it also raises a real question. Is it too late? After years of snubbing deserving artists, boxing them into categories, and barely recognizing truly innovative music, are these changes just damage control? The Grammys are only as powerful as the artists who keep showing up, getting dressed, performing, and giving the show its prestige. But for years, artists have been dropping incredible music and walking away empty-handed. Let's be real, Not Like Us getting all those Grammys was huge, but it also makes you ask, where was that energy for Good Kid, Made City? Kendrick got 0 awards for a project that shaped an entire generation. Make it make sense. Even Eminem, who's actually been awarded more than most, called out the Grammys back in 2018 and ended up boycotting too.
I'm fine if I lose to Kanye or someone that I'm like, I respect that. I know who that is, and Kanye has a huge following and he's made a massive impact on music. Fine, I'm good with that. But don't get us all here to use your selling point for your show and stiff everybody every single time. And I said, after that point in time, I was like, don't ever ask me to come here again. Please do not ask me. My answer is no for 100 million years. Never again will I go to the Grammy.
Well, he summed it up perfectly. The whole system often ignores true impact. That said, credit where it's due. The Grammys finally got a few things right this year. One standout moment was Beyoncé taking home Best Country Album for Cowboy Carter. That's a bold move, especially after what happened at the actual Country Music Awards, where Shaboozey, who had one of the biggest country songs, was completely overlooked. Beyoncé winning that category as the only person of color in it sent a clear message. Artists don't need to stay boxed into one genre. She's known for pop and R&B, but now she's opened a door for creative freedom across all styles. It's a full flip from what we saw 5 years ago when Tyler, the Creator, won Best Rap Album for Igor, even though it wasn't a rap album. Beyoncé put it best during her speech. Sometimes genre is a code word to keep us in our place. Kendrick carried a powerful message with him, showing that hip-hop artists can stand toe-to-toe with the biggest names in pop and come out on top, purely off artistry and cultural weight. When he accepted Record of the Year in his Canadian tuxedo, Beyoncé was dancing to Kissy, Say Drake, I Hear You Like 'Em Young, and Taylor Swift was vibing to A Minor. It was that kind of night. But Kendrick paused the moment to share something personal. His aunt had just passed away the night before. He asked the crowd to smile in her honor so she could look down and see him accepting the award with love from everyone in the room. It was emotional, humble, and powerful. He also gave props to Dr. Dre and Swizz Beatz, and most importantly, he dedicated the win to Compton. Beyond being a diss, Not Like Us is truly a love letter to his city. From the music video, which won Video of the Year, to the Pop-Out concert, to the GNX album, Kendrick made sure to highlight the West Coast, the beats, the artists, the energy. It all pointed back to where he came from. Kendrick brought Mustard, the producer behind Not Like Us, on stage with him, and Mustard kept it short but loud. I got nothing else to say but West Side. Then came one of the most iconic moments of the night. Diana Ross handed Kendrick Song of the Year. He looked starstruck, shouted out Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and of course, Mustard again for helping pull off a clean sweep. Not Like Us won every single category it was nominated in. That's rare, that's legendary. And the Grammys didn't hold back. They played the entire first verse while presenting the award. No censorship, no cuts. The crowd heard every diss aimed at Drake, loud and clear. It made one thing obvious: the industry isn't holding back diss tracks anymore. Art is art, and they're not toning it down for anyone. Kendrick also dedicated the award to Whitney, his fiancée, who had that viral moment in the Not Like Us video, crip walking as Kendrick rapped "He a Fan." This was extra powerful, considering Drake previously accused Kendrick of abusing her and claimed she cheated with Dave Free and had a kid Kendrick raised. Kendrick flipped all that on its head. Whitney showed up proud in the video, and now he's honoring her on stage, front and center. He also showed love to the West Coast OGs who helped pave his way: Glasses Malone, Problem, Bad Luck, and Dayleet. Another full-circle moment for the city that built him. Shout out to Dayleet, and major love to the whole Black Hippie crew: Schoolboy Q, J-Rock, Ab-Soul, all the MCs who helped shape Kendrick into the beast he is today. On stage, Kendrick said it loud and clear: nothing's more important than rap music. He reminded the world that we are the culture. This thing called hip-hop, it lives here, it breathes here, and it's never going away. Even Dr. Dre shrugged with that classic "you already know" energy while Kendrick quoted Punch from TDE. I just hope you respect the art form. Respect the art form and it'll take you places. And that's what this whole night proved. There's a new energy, a new wave of respect for real lyricism and real artistry, something we haven't seen in years. And the Kendrick versus Drake battle? It didn't just shake the culture, it elevated it. From lyrical warfare to Grammy dominance, Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, Best Music Video, Song of the Year, and Record of the Year, that's not just a win, that's a takeover. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment and let me know what you thought about everything that went down. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to see what really went down at the Grammys. Catch you in the next one.